This is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the Fall Carlisle Collector's Auction, looking at a very rare car. This is a 65 Pontiac Catalina 2+2 with the 421 4-speed. That's rare enough. Take over 4,000 were built with a manual transmission. We don't know how many 4-speeds. It's either 3-speed or 4-speed. This one has a little bit over 16,000 miles on it. That is it. It was in storage for 26 years. It was originally a drag race car bought in Maryland. One owner registered in Maryland and then moved to PA. It was found in a garage. That's Scott, the owner, by the way. It was found in a garage with another car. There was no room in between the two cars. He's got photos, everything. Let's get the
that's the high output fan.
I'm going to zoom in on the photo over here. Let's see if I can get it. You can see how close it was.
And they never put the high output on it. It was actually sent from the factory as a 4-barrel car. Changed down in Hagerstown, Maryland.
421 factory gauges, 16,000 miles on it. And you zoom in on the interior, which you saw before. I'll be putting that together. This car is bone stock, original, 421, 8 lugs, 4-speed. Yeah, I'm listening.
Hobby or
no, I run NortheastWheelsEvents.com, which is a calendar of events. Have you been on the site yet?
No, man.
Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, this is amazing. The pedals are all original. Look at this thing. No, there isn't. 16,000 miles on this Pontiac. Unbelievable factory 4-speed.
The dashboard cluster, it's perfect. It doesn't have marks or anything in it.
Just gorgeous. The steering wheel not even cracked.
You'll never see an amber steering wheel. It doesn't
No. This is just beautiful. Just beautiful. I mean, another tell is the armrests. They always go bad.
Dashboards are always cracked. I said, it's not me. This was in a garage for 26 years.
That is remarkable.
I'm glad I found somebody that appreciates
amber steering wheel.
What was changed on the car. 100% honest.
Now, how did you find out about the existence of this car?
I had a gentleman that got in touch with me that, if I have a rollback, that asked me if I would be willing to recover and store in my facility 2 65 Chevrolets that was in a garage that the person wasn't paying rent on or anything. They wanted to get them out. I was hoping they were Chevelles or something. I said, can you find a little bit more out? He came back to me and said, they're 65 Pontiacs. And I said, well, that's a big difference from a Chevy to a Pontiac,
yeah,
although they are General Motors.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what are they? And he goes, I don't know. So he goes back. He says, one's covered up. I don't know what
Let's put the barriers up, by the way.
I'm sorry?
While we talk, let's put the barriers back up.
Okay. He said, well, one's got GP on the grill and the other one's covered up. I said, well, the GP's a Grand Prix. Not something everybody wants, but I said I would look at it. The other one, I said, do you know what it is? And he goes, no, if you want to know, go look at the cars.
Uh-huh.
So what I did was I went over, said to the lady that had them, I would remove them, depending on what she wanted.
Yep.
To take them out, I'd store them in my facility.
Right.
And she was actually looking for somebody to just drag them out of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, you don't do this to cars.
Yeah.
But they were, as you can see by the pictures, extremely, extremely tight.
Yes.
So first consideration was how do I get them out? Both cars had 4 flat tires. They were against the wall so tight I couldn't put my fingers. I could put my fingers between the car and the wall, but not the palm of my hand. So your distance was that double thickness.
Were the windows open?
No, the cars were locked.
Ha, wow.
Now the Grand Prix, the window was not open, but the door was unlocked.
Right.
The car was in neutral.
Okay.
So after trying to figure out, one, how to recover, and then how do you even jack a car up?
That's a little bit tight, Scott.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it.
Okay.
How do you even jack a car up? One, without it twisting and hitting the wall,
Right.
or twisting and hitting the other car. You can see how close it is to the ground with the tow bars on it. Now imagine it on rims. So we went and got 2 of the real low boy jacks.
Right.
Jacked it up evenly on both sides so I could crawl under, rotate the tires to put air in, and then I started the long, arduous journey of crawling under the car through all 26 years of bugs. Excuse me, sir. Do not sit in my car.
All right.
Oh God, let's get those barriers up, please.
The car has 16,000 original miles on it. It's 50 years old. Original paint,
Beautiful car.
original interior, and if you appreciate it, you would not do that to it.
Well, that's how you appreciate it.
No, you ask permission from the owner if you can touch his car.
Is this an auction car?
Yes, it is, sir.
Then before you buy it,
If you were serious and we talked, if you were serious and we talked and you asked, I would gladly like this lady.
glad you now have the sign up.
She took this down because she's giving me an interview, sir. And like I said, and if you find another one, we can talk about it. Excuse me, I am very sorry. You can see why
No.
I get upset.
Yeah, that's why, let's get the barriers up quickly. Oh gosh, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Oh gosh.
Anyway, we crawled under, I got him up. I had 5 people there, including myself. And it took us 3 hours to get the Grand Prix out.
Mm-hmm.
Moving it 6 inches at a time. All wheel cylinders were blown. We had no brakes. This with the clutch frozen. I couldn't use the clutch to stop the car. That would have turned the engine. So we put dolly blocks and moved it 6 inches. You could tell by 2 inches plus of clearance, we would yell how much you have on that side, how much you have on this side. Back it up, give me half of it. And move it another 6 inches. Look, we finally got the cars out, got them to my facility and started to look at them. In the meantime, there were many, many court hearings. I did not own the cars.
Mm-hmm.
They were abandoned.
Right.
The lady that owned the garage was trying to get them in lieu of payment,
Uh-huh.
which is a problem all in itself because it involves an automobile titled to someone else.
Right.
So there was probably 6 months, 4 or 5 court hearings, judgments, liens levied, sheriffs came out, locked the facilities. Then the sheriff had to come out before we could move the cars, examine the cars, make sure there were no dead bodies or dead animals in it.
Mm-hmm.
I met the sheriff at the garage and he goes, well, where are the cars? I said, this garage. He goes, that's a car and a half garage. There's 2 full-size cars. I said, you haven't seen anything yet till we open the door. Opened the door. The sheriff was a stout gentleman, 300 pounds. He goes, I can't walk in
Boss
there.
hog.
You know,
You mean you had to go through this before you even moved the
I did not have
cars?
court permission to move the cars.
Ah, okay.
So I had sweatpants on with no buckles or anything, and I took my leg and I leaned in to the Grand Prix and I photographed we took a towel, we brushed off the windshield from 26 years. I took a photograph. We lift up enough of the curtain and took my camera and I just kept shooting pictures. He looked and he goes, I don't see any dead bodies in it.
Okay.
And he said, I need to look in the trunk. I said, well, we can't look in the trunk.
Good
the
luck.
cars are out. You have to give me permission to move the car.
Uh-huh.
And said, oh, by the way, we don't have keys. So I tried for 15 minutes after we got the Grand Prix out with a Slim Jim to open the passenger's door, and I could not do it. My older brother, who's coming, goes to me, give me a wire coat hanger. He pried the window back, made a loop on it, and went clip. And I'm like, don't you do this 15 minutes ago? And we got it open, we got the cars out, and the sheriff goes, can you open the trunk? I don't have keys.
The keys, yeah.
We took them to my facility, brought them inside,
Uh-huh.
had to take the back seat out, lift the insulation off. I had to go to the store and buy another 3-foot extension bar because I had one already.
Right.
It took 6 feet to reach the 3 screws that held the trunk lock in,
Oh,
or the bolt. I unbolted it, the trunk came up, and he went, oh, okay, it's clear. Then we went back to the court system and started the arduous thing of getting titles.
Right.
Getting, so there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of time, court fees, sheriff fees, and then every time a gavel was dropped, of course the gentleman had 30 days to come back and go over and show, and it was just, I never knew.
Now you're a Pontiac guy, hardcore.
Hardcore, my family's been in it for over 50 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I've owned many, many Pontiacs.
This must have been quite a surprise for you.
This was like unwrapping a Christmas present or cracking a piñata. You can see the car was covered up.
Uh-huh.
When I got there, I was able to take the passenger's front fender and I lift up the cover and I saw 421. And I knew at that point it was a Catalina.
Right.
By looking at, I opened up, I lift the cover on this side, saw 2+2. Now it's, your heart's going, oh my God, oh my God. I opened the hood and you can see by the one picture, and I have it in the paper,
right,
where it has this big air cleaner on it. And I actually thought it was a 4-barrel.
Okay.
So I took the air cleaner off and saw that it had trips. It was like, if this had 3 2s, and it was like, oh my God, it's got 3 2-barrel carburetors on it. So we got the Catalina out or the Grand Prix out after 3 hours, and I was able to take the cover off it and look inside, and it's like, it's a 4-speed. My God, it's got everything. Then when we finally got the door open, got it away from the wall on dollies, and I sat in the driver's seat and I saw 15,752 miles. I almost needed nitroglycerin because it's like, this is not happening.
This is something you only see on TV, that's it.
I started documenting all these photographs and everything from before we even started to reclaim the cars, because I knew if I told people, oh, if you saw this barn find, and these 2 cars, they were jammed in a garage, and they'd go, yeah, I've heard this story before.
Yeah, how many times have you heard that? Of course.
I have documentation, and people are like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no, it was an absolute shock to all of us. How the cars survived 26 years in an unattached, unheated garage, 4 seasons of hot, cold, hot, cold. The electric was disconnected. It still had the antifreeze in it.
Oh my gosh.
Why didn't the block split? There are so many questions no one can answer. It's like, I truly believe somewhere in this car it's got a soul, and it said, I'm gonna live.
Yeah, Christine.
Yeah,
but a good Christine.
Yeah. Get wrapped up now. Straighten yourself out.
Yeah, right.
The car wanted to live. I did all this little TLC I could to it. It fired up and it sounds and rides like the.
Well, just starting up, how many months did it take you to start the motor?
It took almost a month before I had
the chutzpah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To even try and turn it over.
Yeah.
I myself wanted to take it apart. I figured there was no way. The seals weren't blown. The car didn't have rust in the cylinder walls, that it wouldn't do damage. I have a son that races cars, has a 30-year-old mentality versus my 60-year-old way we used to do it, and he said, Dad, start it. If it starts, you're ahead of the game. If it doesn't, you were going to take it apart anyway. And it fired up.
After months, well, a month of Marvel Mystery Oil, just slowly
Mystery oil,
cranking and
multiple times, priming the system, draining the fluids, putting fresh in, putting 5-weight oil in, pulling the distributor, priming it with a oil pump priming tool at 40 to 60 pounds of pressure for 15 minutes, draining the oil, draining the filter, doing it again, draining, putting fresh in, just constantly. Finally cracked the cylinders, added more Marvel Mystery Oil just in case there was a lip in it. Finally had the gumption to turn it over one time.
jeez.
Clutch was frozen. We broke the clutch free from the flywheel. And like I said, I attribute my son to just started. And it actually, a lot
That's
of,
amazing.
you know, probably 20, 30 times of putting gas in.
Yeah.
Couldn't get gas to come through the fuel line. We back pressured everything. Used the Mighty Vac to draw gas through. Figured there was something wrong, and it started on its. Well, my brother was feathering it with gas, and he came out from under the hood holding the gas.
She
And
lives.
It's alive. You know. But
This
yeah,
is
emotional.
remarkable.
Everything about it. You know, we sat there. My brother kept telling, because my brother had the Grand Prix,
Right?
and you know, he kept saying, everybody was like, "Wow, your Grand Prix! You got to see my brother's car." He says it's a museum piece.
Yeah.
It's, you know, a true survivor. He says it looks too perfect.
This is remarkable. It's built in New Jersey, you were saying?
Yes, this came from the New Jersey assembly plant.
And you've traced down everything except the original owner's name. He raced at which raceway?
Mason-Dixon Drag-O-Way.
Okay, Drag-O-Way.
Drag-Way. Drag-O-Way.
Drag-O-Way.
And that
Back
is
in
actually-
'65.
That is actually,
So if anybody
that's to show it was a race car.
knows anything or has any information on this, please contact us. You could contact Scott through northeastwheelsevents.com. Just put comment on this video and we'll be able to put you guys in contact.
I would be unbelievably thankful because, you know, you tell people stuff, I can prove to a point what I know.
Right.
And I categorically, undeniably say, no, I can't. I have the word of the second owner. The obvious, it has the flat toe shackle bars on the front.
Yes.
You can see underneath, we think they were Lakewood drag bars. They have been removed. The weld marks are on the frame and on the banjo housing where they were welded on. I don't know why they removed them. Maybe the dealership thought, no, I'm not going to show people this was a race car.
Strange.
You know, when it was, the second owner bought it. But I have at home the original camshaft, the original pistons to show that it was converted over to a tri-power 376 horse. And the pistons were changed from 10.5 to 10 3/4.
Okay.
And for some odd reason, they changed the connecting rods. The connecting rods for all the 421s were the same except the Super Duty. They may have, because they raced it, put Super Duty rods in it.
Okay.
Again, that is my assumption. I am not dropping the oil pan to see if it has Super Duty rods in it.
Now you have all these parts.
Oh yeah, camshaft is shot. It's rusted, Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Everything. It was not in a tube or anything. The pistons are in a box. They're not bent. The rods are fine. The rings are good. They're standard bore. They are the flat top 10.5s. So again, the assumption, because it was converted over to a 376 horse, the tri-power was added. Correct gear. Center carburetor is smaller than the secondary.
Hydraulic or solid? Hydraulic or solid?
Yeah.
Interesting that they stuck with that.
And it doesn't sound like a solid. Again, I have not even removed valve covers.
Jeez.
But it does not have the sound of a solid car.
Yeah. Oh, you would know it.
Oh yeah, I raced. But and we looked in the parts books, the 421, 335, 356, and 376 horse motor all used the same rods. It's the same block.
Okay.
You know, the only thing was
they punched it. Yeah.
The cam.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't punched. It's the same bore.
Really?
Yes.
So
the only
the
difference is the Super Duty had a different rod.
Okay.
So I'm assuming why I've got 8 pistons at home in a box with rods on it, that it's got Super Duties.
Yeah.
But I can't prove it because I am not taking the oil pan off the car.
Oh.
It runs.
That is phenomenal. Now she's up for sale because you're on the trail of another car from the same
I think I have
person.
found another 65. So, and that car I actually have the original window sticker, the original dealership where they hand wrote out the sales receipt with every option on it.
Right.
I have the build sheets from underneath it. I have every inspection record, service repair thing to the car. This has the buyer protection booklet with the Protecto plate still inside.
This, by the way, is from the
Nothing's marked.
65. That's
This is
from
from
this
my
one.
car.
Yes.
Everything's stamped and marked. Inside it says it was delivered on 11/24 of 64. It was, and has the serial number, has everybody's signature except the owner.
What dealership was this purchased from?
Pontiac Cadillac, right here in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Very good. Again, a clue if anyone knows.
Right. The last time it was inspected in Pennsylvania was in '87, good till August of '88. The mileage on the car, I think, if I put my glasses on, was
14,700. Oh, there. Okay.
560. When I got it out of the garage, it had 15,752. So he did drive it. This shows when Ron got the car. It had older mileage and the new for each inspection. It has his name and has the serial number of the car. So I can show you the mileage.
Now, Ron never drove it either.
Yes, he did. Well, he drove it very little.
Okay.
He took it to car shows.
Yeah.
This is actually Ron himself at a car show, second owner, and we're holding the award plate, and I have the award plates in the trunk.
Oh, that is.
And I figured that goes to whoever purchases.
Yeah, well, of
the
course,
car,
it's part of the history now.
History, and I have 2 placards in there from 2 of the East Coast meets that I was at. That if somebody wants high performance Pontiac in the April issue of 2014 at the Performance Years meet in Hatfield.
Right.
Did a small picture, and the thing that my 2+2's claim of fame was it had 16,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So I very proudly had got in touch with the magazine. They sent me the pictures, and I made a little plaque up on it.
That's great.
And I made my little storyboard so people can take 5 to 6 minutes here at a car show to read and get a little bit of a history.
Yeah. The snippet, the Reader's Digest version of this remarkable find with only 16,000 miles on a Pontiac Catalina 2+2 with a factory 4-speed. This is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the Fall Carlisle 2015 Fall Carlisle Collector's Auction. Make sure you check your wheels every day for cool stories like this, and of course all sorts of events. We'll keep you informed how Scott's car does, and of course when he gets his new find. What will that be? Stay tuned.